Hello, 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 hello. Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. We are live on YouTube. How is everybody doing today? How are you all doing today? I'm obviously live instead of watching the game. I don't feel the need to watch it. I'll catch the highlights and stay productive, doing what I enjoy doing the most. Trying to help uplift as many people as possible in this crazy modern world we all live in today. I hope your day is going well. It's just under 70 degrees here in Redwood City, here in the San Francisco Bay Area where I live. Hopefully the weather is nice where you're at. Lewis Fuller, good evening, Eli. Just gave you a like. That was at 3:52 p.m. Pacific, which was probably about a half hour ago. If you're still around, Lewis, say hello. Be nice to have you here. But maybe you're busy watching the game or doing something else. No problem, brother. Thank you for the like. I greatly appreciate that. Today I have another important topic to discuss amongst the many other topics I talk about that can really help turn your life around because you're in control of your life. You're more in control of your life than you think. And even if you're one of those people that feels your life is out of control, the fact that it's out of control is within your control. You just don't realize it yet. Food for thought, right? And you and only you can turn things around. And no one, like myself or anyone that does anything similar as I do can help you unless you're open to the help. So in essence, you're in control of your entire life. It's up to you how you want to show up. It's up to you how you behave. It's up to you how you treat other people. My mama raised me to treat people the way I'd want to be treated, right? How many of you have heard of that? Most people from my era and before that time grew up hearing that. I think the millennials have no clue what that is or what that means. And maybe even the generations that are following, or the generations following the millennials. I'm not saying they're following what they're doing, but after the millennial generation, we had the Gen Zers, and now, under 10 years old is the Alpha generation. Treat others the way you'd want to be treated. I'm a God-loving man, and I believe in God and the good Lord Jesus Christ. I know many of you believe, some of you don't. If you don't believe, I still love you. But if we're going to, go biblical right now for a second, treat others the way you want to be treated is also stated as do unto others as you would want done upon you or to you. Do unto others as you would want done onto you or upon you, right? How come in this crazy modern world we all live in, most of us either don't believe in that or just choose to not show up that way, right? It seems like in this day and age, everyone is out there for themselves. Everyone is out there to try to get as much attention as possible for themselves, make as much money for themselves, and be really selfish and greedy, right? And then considerate to other people's feelings, wants, and needs. How come that is happening? Well, I'm going to start off this show by saying it's because of the internet. I'm going to mention a little bit about this right now because I've decided to not do my thoughts on the internet in 2022 show. I've canceled that, at least for the time being. I've been talking about that for the last few days. And today, I decided to cancel it and do something else instead. And here's the reason why. In order for me to give a topic like that the most amount of justice, I would need to do a lot more research. Even though I know in my head exactly what I want to talk about, I would want to present, supporting content such as other websites, blogs, articles, and maybe play even some video clips and stuff. And for me to put something together like that at this time would literally take me, I'm pretty quick at putting things together, but it would still probably take me at least 4 to 6 hours to put together, maybe a little bit longer. And quite frankly, to be honest, I don't have the audience. I don't have a big enough active audience that would enjoy that type of content. The content would make sense, and it's a very important topic on why I feel the modern world is the way it is, why dating is the way it is, why people are the way they are, right? It's a very important topic, but I just don't feel the juice would be worth the squeeze, figuratively speaking, meaning that the amount of time and effort and work to put it together and then do the show, would not yield the results of the effort put in. And sometimes, folks, you have to look at things that closely. You have to look at whatever it is that you're doing in your life. Is it a productive use of your time? Right? Now, sometimes you have to take chances. Like on YouTube, you have to take chances because you never know what's going to pop and what's not going to pop as a video or a live stream, right? But if you've been a YouTuber for a while like myself, and you've studied the analytics, and you understand audience retention, and you understand the audience and all that, you have an idea of what would more so work at this time and what would not. And I've done shows like this in the past. Put a lot of time and effort into them. And, they got me 100 views, 150 views, maybe 200, sometimes 300. It's just not worth it for the amount of time and effort that you put into it. And I'm not saying that to be lazy or to say my content isn't good. It's just the way social media and YouTube work. Let's see. Give me a second here. Sweet Pea 1985. Eli, been watching you for a while. How are you and your lady getting along since her friends are being so judgmental? Ma'am, I'm not sure if you're real or you're a troll. And, it's something that's been discussed for the past several days. I don't know if you've, seen my streams or not, but I'll answer it. Not a big deal. We're getting along just fine. And I met a lot of her friends this past week. I had that issue in a past relationship. Okay, fair enough. No, we're getting along just fine. And quite frankly, Sweet Pea 1985, I'm the kind of guy at this point in my life where I'm a good guy and I'm going to be good to my lady and I care about my lady and I want to be with her, and hopefully it leads to something a lot more like her and I have been, talking about, and she's the one that's been bringing it up, so that's a good thing, Has to be more of the lady's idea. That way the guy doesn't come off thirsty and needy and weak. But I've gotten to the point in my life where, like, I'm happy even just being alone. And that's the problem with many men and women. It's harder for women because women are emotional beings and they can't stand being alone for a second. My lady, with no disrespect, I really care about her. She's watching right now. She's been getting off work a little bit early the past few days. And she just gets bored very easily. Like she's a total lady, just like you, total woman, right? It's an emotional thing, right? Like she wants to be with me all the time, and eventually it'll get there. And I'm not saying I don't want to be with her. I do. But, I gotta, have some time and space to run the business, pay the bills, and do other things, Gotta balance it out. But my lady, she sends me text messages like, I'm just gonna go home and be alone with my dogs. She sent me that text earlier. She's probably watching now, probably laughing a little bit, right? And I didn't respond to her because I'm like, she's seeking attention, right? Which I give her plenty of attention, right? She's seeking attention because women get bored easily. And like I mentioned the other day, because of where she lives, with no disrespect, there's not really a lot to do in her town. And it's not that she doesn't love her friends, she does, but her friends are like bar rats. And, typically when she hangs around with her friends, all they do is they drink and do other things that, to me, in my opinion, or how I feel, are just not how I want to, spend my time and live my life, right? And I feel she feels the same way about it. But it's the town she lives in, based on, what she can afford to pay at this time. And, her and I are working together to hopefully build a future to where her and I are both in a better environment together, and that will change that aspect. But as far as her friends go, I met a bunch of her friends last week, and they were totally cool with me. And I have no problems with them at all. Even the one that was questioning, things about me that have been said on the internet through these videos a lot of these creators made on me over the years, right? I met her. She's a bartender. We ended up going to her friend's bar where she bartends at. And she was totally cool with me. But I just walked in there. I was cool, calm, and collective. I kept my mouth shut. I only talked when people said hi to me. I said, hello, how you doing? Nice to meet you. That's just laid back and chill, right? Right? And quite frankly, I think, why her friend was looking into me is because her friend's been through a lot in life. And I thought her friend was actually with someone, but her friend has been single for a while. My lady made me aware of that. I must have misheard it when she first told me about her friend many months ago. But her friend's been single. Her friend, I believe, is in her early 40s or mid 40s or something like that. And has like early 20s daughter. And I just honestly think that, I'm not trying to say anything bad about her friend. She's not a bad person. She was really cool to me. It's just that I don't think she's happy being alone. I don't think any woman is happy being alone. And quite frankly, I don't think any man is happy being alone either. It's just that us guys are better at handling it because we process our emotions differently than women do. And her friend has told my lady that, right now she just wants to focus on working and providing for her daughter and putting her through college and all this and that. And she's shutting out any guys that approach her. And I also found out that the reason why the guys that have approached her, even though they have money, right, and they can take care of her, the reason why she's not giving them a chance is because these guys aren't man enough. They're like, and with no disrespect, they're like overly nice guys that are in an industrial type of business, which is not a big deal. It's a blue collar business, but they make good money in that blue collar business. I think my lady's friend is also living in that area because it's cheaper, but it's not necessarily the type of people that she's attracted to and wants to be around. She's doing it because it's economical and affordable. And she's a single mother raising her daughter. Even though her daughter is, an adult, her daughter's still living with her. And, nowadays kids stay at home longer because it's hard to afford things on your own initially until you get established, go to college, get your degree, or get a good job and start making good money, right? Let me see what she wrote. I heard you say that she's been forced off work early. Has her loss in income affected how you feel about her? I had that issue, and my ex made me feel worthless for it. Her income has nothing to do with it. And I've talked about this before, I'll say it again, that men are not attracted to women because of their income, right? Men are attracted to women that are sweet, submissive, kind, loyal, genuine, nurturing, right? In the modern world, because women are liberated, yes, it is preferred that women work, but, how much money they make, is not a deciding factor, for men to be attracted to women. It's more about their personality. Sure, they have to be attractive too physically to a certain extent, but it's more about, who they are as a person. And are they more feminine than masculine behaving? A lot of women go and do masculine energy type of jobs at work, and then they come home and they treat their man like with masculine energy, right? And my lady's had that problem. She's admitted it, but she knows she's with a strong guy like me, and I don't put up with that. I just call her out, I call her out in a dominant yet loving and playful way every time that she tries to assert masculine energy. And she doesn't even realize she's doing it. It's just she's used to doing it at work. And I think that her friend that was looking into me, that I now have met, and her friend likes me because she's seen I'm a real person and I'm really cool and laid back, right? I think her friend has that same issue where, she's exuding more masculine energy than feminine energy, and she's not realizing that's also part of the reason why she's repelling the type of guys she wants to attract, and she's only attracting the guys that are more submissive and beta, right? And that's a big problem nowadays that, women encounter, right? And you try to call women out on that and help them out through that, and they think like you're trying to be a misogynist or something, right? No. I'm just being real. I love women. But I love women that are, more naturally feminine, like their natural feminine essence, than women that behave with more masculine energy. You know what I mean? I'll check out the chat here in just a second. Give me a second here. Got to get out of the kiddie zone. Yes, her friends shouldn't be encouraging drinking, especially if she has an issue, knowing when to stop. Sure, I absolutely hate being alone. I had to live in less than favorable areas due to income. It was a relief to get out. I think it is a shame women today don't understand and follow gender roles. I have never understood the I am woman, hear me roar attitude. Well, here's the thing. Regarding that, Sweet Pea 1985. I don't really think gender roles are really necessary nowadays. I'll tell you why. That doesn't mean that women can't help in doing the same things that they only once did as homemakers, housewives, right? Okay. I think that, and this is how it used to be, when I was with my ex Dana. Okay, we would equally share in the chores and household responsibilities. I think both men and women need to be well domesticated. I can do laundry, obviously. I can wash dishes. I can cook. I can clean, mop floors, vacuum, right? I can do all that, right? I can scrub toilets. And I'm good at all that. Do I necessarily enjoy doing it? No, I don't even think women really enjoy doing it, right? But I am good at it. And see, I'm the kind of guy in the modern world, and this is the way I feel it should have always been, even in the past. I think that men and women should equally share in the household responsibilities. They should equally share everything, right? It used to be back in the days where, before women were liberated and stuff, where, women, let's say it was a weekend and both the man and the man wasn't working, right? And both the man and the woman would sleep in, right? It used to be the woman would get up and make coffee and bring coffee in bed to her man, right? When I was with my ex Dana, I used to always bring her coffee in bed when we would spend the nights together. I used to get up and make the coffee, right? And she did other things for me, right? Now, she never had a problem. Sometimes she got up, but more so it was me. Why? Because I wanted to be good to her. I'm good. The ladies I'm with, I'm good to the ladies I'm with. As long as they're good to me. That's what more so matters, right? You got to find someone that you genuinely bond and connect with at a mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical level, and that you respect at an equal level. I, as the man, need to be able to respect the woman at the same level that she respects me. Neither one of us put the other one above or beneath us, right? It's all a mindset. It's all about how you show up. It all starts about how you feel within yourself and what you feel you deserve and what kind of person you want to be, right? It's about how you show up, right? Not saying men can't do that, but in my opinion, that is a woman's job. I am very submissive and feel like the housework is women's work. I believe women should work and help with finances too if possible, but the woman should serve her man in every other way too. I don't know. I don't know if you're actually trolling me or if you're actually being serious. Because if you're actually being serious, I mean, you're talking pre-June Cleaver, Leave It to Beaver 1950s era. And quite frankly, here's the thing. I'm a good dude, and yes, I do want my lady to be more submissive than dominant. But I also do not want to be with a woman that is 100% submissive and kissing my ass and, always wanting to do everything for me, right? I do want a woman that's capable of also taking care of herself and, being, what's the right way to put it? Being balanced, right? Being completely a balanced person, right? In the modern world, Coach Corey Wayne puts it best. It's not about completing each other. It's about sharing each other's completeness together. A man and a woman come into this world nowadays as two complete individuals, and then they get together and share each other's completeness together. You're being honest, you were raised completely old school? Well, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I'm sure there are some guys that would be attractive, or that would be attracted to a woman that is that old school and submissive and stuff, right? But most modern guys like me, right? Like I can respect you. I respect you. You seem to be a good person, right? But for me, a woman that wants to live her life 100% submissive in that way, it wouldn't work for me. Not because I wouldn't think you were good enough or anything like that, but because the way the world is nowadays, and I think the world should have always been this way. Men and women, are equal as much as possible. We have the same equal rights and we have the same capabilities, right? Only difference is we're biologically different, right? And so, for me, being with a completely submissive woman would make me feel like I am this woman's purpose. And nowadays, here's the thing. I think it used to be like in traditionalism where, yeah, the man was the woman's purpose. But nowadays, because things are so different and life is busy and the jobs we have require us to step away from our families a little bit to make the money, right? We need to have an understanding woman that's not completely emotionally dependent on us being around 100% of the time, right? A woman that's submissive is going to want to be around her man like every minute if possible. And quite frankly, nowadays that gets really overwhelming and overbearing to the point of where the man can't focus on his purpose, which is what's providing the livelihood and also what attracts the woman to a man, right? So that's my opinion regarding that. Yeah, Sweet Pea 1985. I unfortunately cannot focus the entire show on responding to all of these questions here. I mean, if you want to make some comments in the video section afterwards, I'd be happy to respond at that point. But I gotta move on with the show. But thank you. I appreciate you being here. And hopefully you accomplish whatever it is that your heart desires and find what you want. All right. So, give me a second, folks. I need to do something real quick here. I'm going to go off the air for just a second. I'll be right back. All right. All right, we should be back. And Sweet Pea 1985 says, I understand, Coach. I'll only comment when necessary. You can comment whenever you want, but when I'm live, I won't be able to get back to everything. It's just, there's just so much coming in at once from you, no disrespect, that I haven't even had a chance to start the topic today. So, that's what we're going to get to right now, actually. So, welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition, live from Red Morton Park. This is episode number 224, I believe it's 224. And the topic today is when you care more about someone's judgment towards you, you stay right there. There are people out here. Looking at this like brand new Corvette. This guy is showing off. Oh man. I guess, when I got my first sports car, Mustang GT convertible in my younger days, I was excited too. But that guy's a bit older. I guess the glory of having a fancy, expensive new sports car never goes away at any age for a man, right? I get it. All right. So when you care more about someone's, you know, judgment of you or towards you, right? You stay right there, right? In essence, if you allow other people's opinion of yourself to get to you, then that's going to hold you back from getting anywhere. It's going to keep you stationary. And not only are you not going to move the needle forward, you're going to actually start to head backwards, right? My God, that is really loud. There's this BMW like mini sports car, like cranking, like Mediterranean, like guitar music, like almost like the Greek bouzouki music. They got their window rolled down and they literally have that thing cranked almost at the max. It just gets really distracting. I think I'm gonna have to change the location of my my streams again, back to some of the portions of the SF Bay Trail. It's just becoming a bit too distracting to do them at the park. It's just a lot easier for me to get here, through my busy days or throughout my busy days. Everybody has opinions, right? Everybody, wants to be successful. Everybody wants to have the best partner in life, right? Make the most money. Everybody wants happiness, right? Right? But some people, many people, look at things differently, right? They approach things differently. In order to get ahead in life, in my opinion, you have to have inspiration, okay? And what inspires people the most? I'll tell you what's most inspirational to me. I will tell you what inspired me the most to want to start this coaching business. Okay? It was another coach out here on YouTube by the name of Coach Corey Wayne. And what inspired me about him to want to do this? I went through a bad breakup before I started following this content over 5 years ago, where my lady cheated on me, and it was pretty taxing on me, emotional. Even as a man, men can go through emotional heartbreak as well, and it stings and it hurts. And we're supposed to be the strong ones emotionally, right? So we try to keep it locked in, and we do our best, right? But it still hurts. You still have the feelings inside of you where you can't breathe, or the feeling inside of you where you can't breathe, right? Like you're claustrophobic, like everything's closing in on you. That's not what's happening. It's just you're so overwhelmed with hurt and pain and missing that person, or you thought everything was great and then she cheats on you or he cheats on you, and you go from being completely happy one moment to just boom, the opposite way, right? What the hell is that? Those are like pedal bikes with like a motor sound. Wow. I can still hear that thing like half a mile the other way. my God. What inspired me about Coach Corey Wayne was how clear his message was. And it's not that I didn't know most of the things that he was teaching then and still teaching to this day. I still follow Coach Corey Wayne to this day. I watch all his videos every day that he releases them. I have a lot of respect for him. And he's conservative, and I'm a little bit more on the liberal side. I still respect him, right? Because he does good work. He knows exactly what he's talking about. And when I was going through that breakup, and I was in a lot of emotional pain, even as a man, right? Watching his videos were motivational and inspirational. And I also learned even more about why, she broke up with me or cheated on me and stuff like that. Things that you don't think about while they're happening, right? And things you may never want to think about. So, I binge watched probably 300 of his videos. All right. We're back. We're back. Hopefully you can hear me, folks. The 5G tower cut me off, but we're back. Inspiration Man Show. Welcome to the show, brother. How you doing, man? I still need to add you to the group. I keep forgetting, man. I will get to it. True. Bumblebee. Where was the bumblebee, dude? I didn't see any bumblebee. Oh, sounded like an angry bumblebee. Oh, she's talking about that kid's bike. Good day. How are you? I see you're walking. Coach Eli, Elias Melas. Doing quite well, Information Man Show. How about you? Hopefully you're doing well. Information Man Show says yes. So, I binge watched like hundreds of Coach Corey Wayne videos, like 300 of them in a month. And it really, really inspired me to want to start my own coaching business. Because I've had a lot of public speaking experience in the past, building my insurance business, running in-person business networking events to promote my insurance business and help other entrepreneurs connect, right? The more resources you have, the better, right? So I had done podcasting already, and I was even doing videos for my networking organization and other networking organizations I was a part of. So I had the experience to do this stuff, right? And then at the same time, in my younger days, I used to always enjoy helping my friends, talk with them about their dating issues and stuff like that. I always had a girlfriend, and a lot of them struggled getting girlfriends because they didn't take as good care of themselves, and so I would, help them out as best as possible. I would console them. I would talk with them, right? I also, was very tech savvy, still am. I would fix my friends' computers whenever they would get a virus or whenever part would wear out. I usually would have spare parts, and I would help fix my friend's computer and bring it back to life. And I did all that free of charge, and I enjoyed doing it, right? And so that's where my inspiration, came to become a coach, which is now my purpose, right? Now, I mentioned Coach Corey Wayne because I'm going to tell you a funny story, because this is how I have looked at things in the past, and I will never look at anyone this way again. I completely changed my attitude, at least I'd say over the last 2+ years, to the point of where I'm never going to, be jealous or react to somebody, and say that, oh, you're full of it, or who the hell are you, right? Because when I first came across Coach Corey Wayne, I was looking for content to help me get through this breakup on YouTube. I kept seeing this bald dude with a smiley face, Coach Corey Wayne, with all these topics. And then I went to watch one of his videos, and I'm like, who the hell is this guy, right? I was like, This guy actually can help me work through this. And I was in a lot of pain. So it's like I wasn't in the best mindset, right? And so I clicked off the Coach Corey Wayne video, or the Corey Wayne video, which is what I'm trying to say, if I didn't say it right a second ago, and I started to watch some other content, and I couldn't stand the other content. And then I kept getting recommended Coach Corey Wayne stuff. I didn't even really know how YouTube worked with recommendations back then because I never really started binge watching YouTube until after this breakup. Before that, I would watch occasionally, right? But I kept getting recommended Coach Corey Wayne. Sweet Gemini 2, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Nice to see you here. I have to go and make dinner, but I will be listening. Well, thank you, Sweet P 1985, and thank you for stopping by. Much love and appreciation from everyone here at the Coach Eli clan. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And hey, you be you, whatever makes you happy. And yeah, be more submissive is the right way to be as a woman, in my opinion. But also, don't be afraid every now and then to show a little dominance and, like... any man that you're around is going to appreciate a little dominance. As long as you're submissive most of the time, which it sounds like you are, you balance it out. You're going to make yourself happy first, and then it'll make him happy, and you'll make each other happy. Well, thanks for stopping by, and have yourself a wonderful, wonderful night. So yeah, I kept getting recommended Coach Corey Wayne videos. And I'm like, you know what? Let me give this guy a chance. And I started binge watching. That's when I started binge watching them. And I started hearing what he was saying. And Coach Corey Wayne, what really got to me about him, this is what really turned my life around, especially in my early 40s when I went through this, right? And I wasn't I wasn't a sissy or pedestalizing women as much in my early 40s, but maybe I kind of still was. I had learned a lot, but after I heard Coach Corey Wayne say this one line many, many times, it changed my life. He said, the reason why you got dumped is because you were acting like a big fucking pussy and you were not acting like a man, right? You're acting like a big fucking pussy and you're not acting like a man. And the first time I heard that, it kind of triggered me a little bit. Why did it trigger me? Because he was absolutely right. I was acting like a BFP. And now I've been known as the coach on YouTube that coins the phrase BFP, right? Right? And the people that used to follow me in some drama groups would do shows and create the BFP list regarding the guys in this drama sphere group and who was the least BFP to the most BFP. And they would try to get me on their shows to create that list, right? And I used to go on and do that because I didn't know any better back then until I realized that they didn't really care about my content. They just cared about the cringy drama entertainment, right? So I stopped doing it, but that's just a funny side story, right? So when Coach Corey Wayne started saying that, he said it more so in a lot of his earlier videos. Like, he's been around for over 10 years. And if you really watch, his content is still good to this day. I think his older content was a lot better. I'm not saying his new content isn't good. It's phenomenal still. But, he's 53 now. He was like in his early 40s, 42, 43, when he first started doing this on YouTube. And watching those older videos, like, when you first start doing something new, you can tell there's a lot more energy and more passion for it because you've gone through all this stuff you're talking about, right? That's what makes me so passionate about what I do here, because everything I talk about here, I've experienced. So as I'm sharing my stories with you folks, you're actually feeling within my tonality how I felt going through that, right? So that's what I felt about Coach Corey Wayne. And the more and more I listened, the more and more I learned to, respect and admire his content. And because of that, there was one video where he was, saying to someone, hey, you know what? If you don't like what I'm saying, start your own coaching business. It's real easy to do. You know, that's what I respect about Coach Corey Wayne. He's not afraid of competition because he knows what he's worth, right? And after I, binge watched all those videos and started my, my former YouTube channel that no longer exists. This was about 5 years ago. That changed my outlook on everything, right? My attitude changed. Now, my story over the last 5 years, I've said it many times, and I'm not going to go through it again. I've had ups and downs with trolls and haters and learning the YouTube ropes. We don't need to go into that. There's plenty of content on this channel that you can go sift through if you like, years ago, to hear more about that. But this is, in my opinion, what the difference is, between people that, allow people to pass judgment on them or not, right? And people that pass judgment or don't pass judgment, right? It's all how you feel about yourself, right? And how you see other people that are doing the same things you're doing. You can look at it two ways. Number one, you can look at it in a positive way, like I do now, and get inspired by them. Or number two, you can try to attack them and say, who the hell are you? Like I initially did when I first came across Coach Corey Wayne, and keep it all negative, right? It's all how you look at other people that are doing something similar that you want to accomplish or you enjoy doing as well. They're just more established than you. What was that, lap number 2? We've done 2 laps already, huh? Jesus. These walks are going by really, really fast. Folks, the most important thing is how you see yourself, right? And like I keep saying, the only opinion of yourself that really matters is your own. Okay? If you allow people to pass judgment on you, or if you listen to people passing judgment about you or on you, right? Then you're allowing them to do that. People are always going to come at you. They're always going to have their own opinions. And more than likely, people that do come at you, okay, are coming at you because they perceive you to be where they want to be, right? They perceive you to be in a better place than them, right? Because have you ever noticed people that are not in a good place try to kick down other people that are not in a good place, just like them? Now, 2 people that are not in a good place, might create a great drama panel conversation like on YouTube or in real life, right? But you never see 2 people that are not in a good place project onto each other, right? What they end up doing typically is sharing and dwelling in each other's miseries, right? Or misery, right? Okay. So I try to tell people this, and I'm going to share a brief story on a text my lady sent me, and my lady's like, oh shit, what's he going to talk about now? Maybe it's not a big deal. It's okay. It'll help you and help other people. Real life examples, right? Okay. If somebody is trying to, kick you down or come at you in any way, shape, or form, right? In an unreasonable way, right? Basically, it's for only one reason. They perceive you to be better than them and in a better place than them, right? So we've got some music coming from over here. I'm hoping I pass this music soon. I think it was back there. If I can't even really tell, can't tell where it's coming from. Okay, it's gone now. If you folks can realize that when people come at you, they don't really hate you, they hate themselves. If you folks can realize that, instead of letting those people trigger you and get you to react, it'll change your life, because you're going to be able to identify it as it's happening and shut it down before it creates an endless back and forth of time wasting or time wasted energy, emotional energy, right? Emotional drain, right? I'm going to use my lady again for an example today. Regarding a text she sent me earlier. My lady and her mom are like two peas in the pod. They're 20 years apart, right? My lady's 46, her mom is 66, right? They both had, kids in their early 20s. They have that in common, right? Both got married young, had kids in their early 20s. And they both have like the same New Yorker type of attitude. Yeah, my lady and her family are originally from New York, but they came out to the Bay Area at a young age. And so they've got that little New Yorker type of attitude, right? My lady sends me a text, and she, has some conversations with her mother by phone that go well, and others don't go that well. And I know her mother really cares about her, and her mother's 20 years older. She's been through all this, so all her mother's trying to do is help her daughter, right? Get herself in a better positive state, right? But sometimes after my woman gets off the phone with her mother, she'll send me a text. And today, my lady sends me a text and says, my mom is bipolar. I was sitting there preparing for the stream, and I get this text, and I have my texts open on my laptop that I get on my phone, on my computer, so I can just have it in the background and type something back quick, right? And I knew all it was that her mother said something that was true that my lady didn't really want to hear, right? Because her mother loves her and cares about her, right? And so I got back and I said, did you just talk with your mother? And she's like, yeah, I'll tell you more tonight. I said, okay, I've got to go around my show. Watch my show. I'll touch up on it, right? Because it kind of pertains to the topic a bit. And we can always talk about any type of topic here on this channel, right? So in this case, instead of, and this is with no disrespect, I care about my lady, and I'm trying to help her in the same ways I'm trying to help everyone. Just not let this stuff get to you, right? Don't let other people's opinions of you get to you. Especially if it's family and close friends and your loved one, right? Now, I'm not saying don't value anyone's opinions, but there are some cases where people truly have your best interest in their heads and hearts, especially if it's coming from your mother, right? And at that point, it's just, in this case, my lady, not wanting to hear what her mother said because it was true. The only thing that triggers people in this world is the truth, right? Why would something not true trigger anybody, right? So, babe, you're watching, right? Why would you call your mother bipolar when you know she's not bipolar? You let your own mother trigger you, right? And I'm not saying this to be mad at my lady or to call her out publicly, you know. I'm saying this for example purposes, and I'm an open guy. I'm like I'm the type of guy that wants to be really transparent with my life and what I do. And anyone that's going to be with me, needs to be okay with that or it's not going to work. And my lady's fine with it. We just don't identify her, at least at this point, because if we did, the whole drama sphere would attack her and her family, right? It would give them more of that cringe content that they so desperately need because I no longer feed into them, right? It's pretty plain and simple, folks. People that care about you are going to be truthful with you, and they're probably going to say things that are going to hurt your feelings or trigger you because it's the truth. But in essence, they're trying to really be supportive. Now, when you're younger, it's harder to understand this. When you're a 46-year-old grown-ass woman and I'm a 48-year-old grown-ass man, at this point in our life, we should be able to have a lot more understanding to it, right? Now, I get it, at any age, we all have our moments, right? And again, I'm not trying to be mean to my lady or call her out publicly, but she's just one example of many other examples, because many people go through these things, right? Why let anything get to you? Why let anything bother you, right? Give me a second here, folks. All right, folks, sorry, we're back. My apologies. Yeah, this 5G tower out here, I need to call AT&T because it just starts to act up. The phone starts to turn black, and then you know you're about to go off the air and stuff, right? So it is what it is. Probably give them a call tomorrow. So when you care more about when someone's judging you, right? Then that's where you stay at. That's where you're at, right? You stay in that negative state. And it bothers you and it eats you up, right? And then it consumes your mind, right? And then anyone else you hang out with, it consumes a conversation with them. And for my lady, I'm not saying I don't want to talk with you about this. I do. We will talk about it, right? But ask yourself this. Why even let it get to that point in the first place, right? Number one, she's your mother. She's 20 years older than you. It's just for example purposes, right? And she's going through some other things, right? She's getting older and she's going through some biological changes. We'll put them that way, right? See, those are things that that should be taken into consideration, right? Especially when you get older and you know better, right? And that's all I'm trying to say. Is that if you're completely happy within yourself and you love who you are deep within, right? And you understand that life has challenges and ups and downs, and a lot of people are just not happy people, right? And they're going to come at you for no reason besides the fact that they're unhappy, and they want to project their unhappiness onto you, the happy person, okay? What I'm trying to say is why we should not take all that into consideration and just not allow it to get to you, right? Why allow it to even get to you? The only opinion of yourself that really matters is your own. Every man and woman needs to start thinking that way, because that's the only way you're going to believe in yourself to be happy, healthy, and successful at everything you want to be successful at in your personal and professional lives, right? Information Man Show says, right, very true, ups and downs, right. Information Man showed everyone else. We spend more time fighting other people's opinions of us than focusing that energy on bettering ourselves better than we already are, right? We spend more time focusing our energy, trying to defend ourselves against people that are talking shit about us, instead of ignoring that shit, because the projection has nothing to do with us, right? It has to do with them, how they see themselves. And we do that instead of channeling that energy to move ourselves forward, right? And that's why everyone I encounter at this point in my life, I've got zero tolerance, zero time, and zero energy for drama. It's a waste of my time, right? I'm a grown-ass 48-year-old man, and I want to be around grown-ass mature people. I don't want to be around boring people. Yeah, sometimes, we have a little fun and we act a little immaturely even as adults, but for the most part, I want to be around people that can turn it on and off like a switch, and they're not immature and insecure and weak 24/7 and are projecting their insecurities 24/7. That's not a healthy environment to be in. And it's a waste of my time and a waste of your time too. And it's not going to help you get anywhere. It's going to even set you further back, right? To a certain extent, at a normal and natural level, every one of us is a little judgmental. Let's be real about this, right? To a certain extent, at a normal, natural, and biological level, every one of us is a little judgmental. I can understand that, right? I myself try to not judge anyone or anything. I try. Does it always happen? No. Even I can struggle with it at times as well. But for the most part, I'm able to just, be accepting and understanding of people. Accept them for who they are, or just let them go, right? That's the way it should be, right? And I've said in the past, and this may make a little sense, to add on to what I just said a second ago. Like I've said in the past, and I'll say it now. If I was going to be judgmental about anything, it would be more about someone's attitude and personality and how they treat other people. Not judgmental about other stupid, superficial stuff, like looks, or how much money you make, or what kind of car you own, or home you live in, or apartment you rent, right? That's being super judgmental, right? The only things that I feel within a certain reason are okay to be judgmental on, and that might even be the right word, right? Is attitude, personality. What kind of person are you deep within? Are you a loving, caring, considerate person? Or are you a selfish, inconsiderate person that takes advantage of other people's kindness, right? Out here on YouTube, I've seen so many judgmental people. It just drives me insane. It's like judgment overload. I'll tell you, and that's part of the reason why it took me a while to get these on track, running my channel out here and putting my message out here and rising above all these hateful drama people. I had to learn to just tune it out like I have in real life, right? It's harder to do it online. Why? Because there's a lot more of it coming at you at once. And because of the way YouTube is set up, like I've said before, YouTube's a shared platform, right? YouTube's a shared platform where, you know, even if you block people on the platform, they can still watch your public content. They can still download your videos and make reaction videos. They can still tag you in community posts, right? Or they can tag you in video postings, right? You gotta learn to let that crap go. I'll say this because, the stream I did yesterday was talking about one creator that's been coming at me for years because he continues to get paid by a fake sponsor that runs a fake caregiving business. Gets paid to keep coming at me and making content about me, right? Right, says Information Man Show. Give me a second here. So, I did almost a 2.5 hour walking stream yesterday, and let's just be real. I went off on the guy without mentioning his name. I went off. I'm not going to lie, but I did it in the most professional way possible. Okay? There was just so much to say. There was so much to say. It took me 2.5 hours. I did 4 laps. I'm only going to do 3 today. I did 4 laps yesterday, plus I walked around another 2 miles around the parking lot where my car is at. I did like 6 miles yesterday. That's an old school Camaro. With gas prices nowadays an all-time high, over $5 a gallon. What's that, like 6 to 8 miles per gallon? Good Lord. My car on the freeway, on average gets about 35 miles per gallon. Sometimes 40, depending on the type of road, right? But about 35 miles per gallon. So that's definitely helpful during a time where gas prices are over $5 a gallon, at least here in the Bay Area. So here's the thing. After the show I did yesterday, right, where I shared my thoughts with my audience, right, I came back and went right back to my actual content, which is this, right? But what happens when you do a stream like that? Let me show you folks how strong I am and how strong you can be too and rise above all this, so that way you don't get distracted by the BS and you can focus on creating greatness in your life, right? Because if you let the distractions get to you, it's going to take your time and energy away from your greatness, right? I'm sure there were like 5 or 10 reaction videos done to my stream yesterday, right? Like I said yesterday, I could care less. Maybe no one reacted to it. I couldn't tell you. Why? Because I haven't looked for any of them, right? And I tuned my recommendations to not recommend any content from these people, right? I tuned all that shit out, right? And I'm sure some of these people have tried to tag me in community posts. I haven't even checked the back end of my YouTube where it tells you who's mentioned you in a community post or the title of a video, right? I don't care to check. It's not necessary for me to run my business that way or to move forward, right? But if I had to guess, more so, a bunch of these people reacted to it, right? They probably talked a lot of smack about me, and they're trying to get my attention to keep it going, right? And that way they have some content to get them some traction on their channel at my expense, right? I'm just not letting it get to me. I learned my lesson. I've learned the ropes. I've learned to rise above it, right? And I expect it, right? Here's the thing that triggers people and gets them to feed into things. They don't expect the unexpected, right? I always expect the unexpected, but after doing things for a while, for example, to my lady out there, we're going to use you for example purposes, babe. That's all. It could be anybody, but we're just going to use you because, it's easier, right? And you like when I think about you, right? Okay? Like I told my lady before, I'll say it again, babe. Every time you have a phone call with your mother, if you go into it knowing that she may say something that's going to trigger you, whether it's true or not, if you expect that and you also understand that she's your mother and she's 20 years older than you and she's getting older and, she means well, if you can expect that and know that it's more than likely going to happen, then it wouldn't trigger you, right? Us folks know what triggers us, right? And we know the people that trigger us the most, right? So if you already know, more than likely, that a particular person you're either going to hang out with or talk with on the phone, whether it's a family member or a friend or a boyfriend or girlfriend or anything, right? If you already know that more than likely that phone call is going to involve them saying something to you that's going to trigger you, then why have that phone call in the first place? Right? But if it's a family member or someone you care for that means well, and you go into it expecting them to say something that's going to trigger you, and then you learn to understand why it triggers you, because what they're saying is truthful and they're actually trying to help you, then it may not affect you to trigger you and give you that and have you react in that way, right? You see, I live my life now. I'm at the point in my life where I've practically experienced everything possible. And I've failed at everything possible multiple times to the point of where I've learned how to identify any situation and react accordingly. And reacting accordingly means not reacting at all most of the time. Now, sometimes, I'm not saying that, you should never react to anything or respond to anything. But there you go. I just caught myself saying it the right way. Oh, there's a dog. A lady and the dog was passing by another lady with two dogs. They were going crazy. Get your questions, comments, and concerns in the chat, folks. I'm going to be going off the air in just a few minutes here. Looks like the fire truck is heading somewhere. Sorry, I was just looking to see where the fire truck was going, if it was coming here or not. Expect the unexpected. Before you go into a phone call, I still hear the fire. Oh, the fire truck is on the other side there. I see it. It's going very slowly. Sorry about that, folks. When you expect the unexpected, you can prepare yourself for anything that happens and not overreact to it. Now I remember what I'm going to say. There's a difference between reacting and responding, okay? Listen to the two words, okay? This is where I'm going to wrap up this show, and I'm going to take off my glasses here for the last 5 to 10 minutes here, however long it takes. There's a difference between reacting and responding. Reacting typically means you're triggered and your emotions are heightened, and you're going to more than likely say some things to the other person or people that triggered you that are not going to be nice, and they're going to get you in trouble, especially if you're out here on YouTube on a live stream or something and the camera's recording, right? It's going to make you look bad for months and years. I've gone down that road a time or two before, right? That's reacting. Responding is listening to what a particular person or people are saying, right? And thinking about it for a second and possibly responding with a well thought out, mature, professional response. And like my mama taught me growing up, if you don't have anything nice to say, then don't say anything at all, right? You don't even have to respond. You could say, well, I don't have a comment for that. No comment, right? Right? And sometimes you come across people that are trying to trigger you, and you can pick up on it, and then you say no comment, because some things don't even warrant a response, right? And to these people, because they're going to keep on trying to trigger you, right? Whether it's real life or YouTube or wherever, right? When you say no comment because they're trying to instigate shit with you, right? They're going to say, come on, dude. Don't you have a spine to stand up for yourself? I'm all good, dude. Hey, I'm going to let you go. Have yourself a nice day, right? That's part of, learning to identify those situations and rising above people trying to crawl under your skin, right? It's taken me a long time to get to that point in my life. And I even admit it. There are times where even the best of us can revert, right? But I will say at this point in my life, I started getting good at it in my 30s. I got even better at it in my early 40s. But right now, over the last couple of years, I'm 48 now, 46, 47, 48. I'm not saying I'm perfect. Nobody is. But I've almost perfected how well I respond to people and don't react, right? Again, I'm going to leave you folks by saying this. The only opinion of yourself that matters is your own, right? And you don't have to participate in things you don't want to participate in. Don't allow people to force you into doing things you don't want to do. That goes online, such as YouTube and live stream panels and other social media aspects, right, of the internet. And it also goes for people in person. When I was younger, there were a bunch of things that my friends liked to do that I didn't enjoy doing. And I would tell them, dude, I don't feel like going, dude. I don't want to go. And they would beg me and beg me and beg me. And then I would feel bad. And I would just suck it up and go just to make my friend happy. But I was miserable, right? See, nowadays, I would just say no. Dude, I don't enjoy doing that, honestly. I would rather do this instead. Maybe this is something you could do with somebody else. And we could do other things that we have more in common, right? At that point, your friend might say, come on, dude, don't you care about me? Don't you love me? Don't you? And see, when you have friends like that, especially when you get older, and especially if they're guys and they're behaving that way, that's when you just have to let them go. You have to cut them off at the knees at that point, right? And that's what I've had to do in my life. I've had to remove so many people from my life, even close friends, because they were acting like little bitches, right? They were men acting like little bitches, right? No disrespect, right? And yeah, I've been scrutinized for it, by other friends of mine, by my family, by people online when I talk about it. But let me tell you something. It's made me happier. It's made me feel like I can focus more of my time in things that make me happy, because I've gotten rid of all the trash in my life, figuratively speaking, right? You take out the trash, right? And then everything's clean, right? You let the trash keep piling up, it keeps getting worse, and it starts to stink even more, right? So why would you want that to happen? Why would you want things to stink more? Take out the damn trash and live a clean, happy, and healthy life. That's a figure of speech in this situation of or sometimes you're going to have to remove people from your life that are holding you back and bringing you down or forcing you to do things that you don't enjoy doing or want to do, right? Or aren't who you are, right? They make you feel uncomfortable, right? At this age of 48, there's not a damn thing anyone can do to force me to do something I'm not comfortable doing. Now, I'm not saying I'm not comfortable in doing many things. There are a few things I don't enjoy doing and don't feel comfortable doing, but there are things that probably the majority of decent people wouldn't feel comfortable doing either, right? But I want to help each and every one of you get to the point of where, you do what's right for you. You associate with people that are like-minded and are understanding to your wants and needs in the same way as you're understanding to their wants and needs. And look for people that are going to be like-minded and enjoy similar things. I'm telling you, folks, like attracts like. To the people in the past that have ever said opposites attract, that's bullshit. It's never worked for me, and I've never seen it work for anyone. Opposites do not attract. When you surround yourself with like-minded people that enjoy doing similar things that you do, then the friendship or whatever it is flows like clockwork, right? And that's where I'm wrapping this video here today, this stream today at 1 hour. I think we're at 1 hour and 21 minutes. I know I got cut off a few times, but I think that's where we're at. All right. Folks, I'm going to do a live stream from the studio tonight at 11:30 p.m. Eastern, 8:30 p.m. Pacific. It's what I used to call crazy dating stories, right? The last Crazy Dating Stories, Volume 8, I did last week. I'm doing another one tonight, but I've changed the actual show to a different name because I'm thinking it might be searchable a little better through YouTube, and I want to make it be a little more professional. It's now called Dating Stories for Men and Women, and even though it's the first episode, it's the same thing I was doing with a different title, so I'm just leaving it at Volume 9. Because last week's Crazy Dating Stories was Volume 8. Today, I'm going to be doing I forgot what I was just going to say. Yeah, I just lost my train of thought. Dating Advice for Men and Women, Volume 9. I'm going to be going over another 5 Reddit postings, which is what I'm trying to say. And these ones are pretty darn good. They're always good, right? It's average, everyday people like you and me sharing their experiences in the modern dating world of what they're struggling with and what happens when they go on dates or why they get ghosted, etc. There's a lot there. If you watch these folks, I'm telling you, you watch, what I read and how I respond to it, and you apply those principles, it'll make a big difference in you getting exactly what you want in your life. You may not get it right away, but if you keep applying these principles I teach, eventually you'll get what you want and be happy. All right, folks. See y'all later tonight. Have a good one. And as always, be good to each other.